This game, Dark Souls 2, has been the most difficult game I've played in years. It's me, the Elite Ace. We live action. You already know what it is. Finally, I'm here to give you my thoughts and impression / review of this title, Dark Souls 2. Now, when I got this title, we all seen the unboxing. When I did the collector's edition unboxing, people were asking me if I was going to make a video giving my thoughts upon it. And of course I said yes. Didn't give a time date, because I want to get used to the game, get the ins and outs and get a feel for it and see if I like it or not. Now, we all know Dark Souls. We all know it originated from Demon Souls on PlayStation 3. And then it went into Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2. But originally, I forget the title. Demon Souls was a spiritual successor to some other title in the past. I forget the name of it. But anyway, man, we all know this game is known for its difficulty. It's difficulty, it's difficulty, it's difficulty. We all know that. So, believe it or not, this is what's going to shock all of you. This is my first time playing Dark Souls. Now, I know, wait a minute, let me get into the backstory of the mix. Now, when Dark Souls 1 first came out, it's not that I wasn't turned off from it or that I was intimidated by it, because you have people out there, and there's still people like this, who refuse to get into Dark Souls due to the fact that it's known for being very, very, very hard. Hell, we even seen the commercials and the promos where they actually promote dying and death, letting you know you are going to die. This game is about dying. It's not Dark Souls if you don't die a lot. Especially on here, you go to that little shrine and see the amount of deaths. I mean, who plays Dark Souls and never dies? I mean, especially your first playthrough. Excuse me. So, I'm looking at the game, I'm like, man, this looks cool. I like the darkness of it, the seriousness of it, just the grittiness, how it's just a very serious medieval type of game. And I was going to get into it, but at the time, I forget what other titles was out, but I kept focusing on those titles, and I kept pushing it to the side like, well, I get it. And then once I found out about Dark Souls 2 coming out, I said, you know what, let me go back and pick up part 1. Get familiar with the story, the character, everything. And then I read an interview about Dark Souls 2 stating that this is a whole new character. This isn't really a sequel continuing on with the story of part 1. It's in the same world, but it has nothing to do with the last story. It's a different hero. So I felt like, damn. I kind of feel like, what's the point? And I just left part 1 on the shelf. And I said, well, let me get into part 2. But then over time, as I thought about it, I said, well, I might as well get part 1 anyway, seeing as how I won't feel lost because there's no connection with the story. I mean, I'm just going to be playing as a different hero in a different part of that world. So, my overall thoughts of Dark Souls 2 when I first popped it in. Okay, I see, of course, you can create your character. I did like that. It's always a debate as to which game has the best character creation, alright? I was pretty pleased with this one, but I didn't spend too much time on the face part, seeing as how I knew I was going to wear a lot of helmets. So, when I first started, alright, and I went to the Forest of Fallen Giants, I believe, the amount of damage I seen that was taken off. At first, I started out making a dual swordsman. And when the damage that was getting taken away from me, I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I already see where this is going. I already see. So the things that make this game difficult, okay, the amount of damage. And souls are key. Yes, you're already undead. You're living in an undead world. Excuse me. And souls. You're gonna hear that word a lot. Souls play key. When I mean play key, they are what you need to survive. It's not like other medieval games where you can get gold or guild or money, zenny, whatever you want to call it, and also get experience points. Oh no. Souls are everything. Souls, you need souls to level up. You need souls to repair your weapons when they get damaged and broken. Yeah, that's right. You need souls to buy items. You need souls just to do everything. If you kill an NPC, someone to join a covet, you can kill him, take his soul and his items and whatnot. But to bring him back, it costs souls. And when you die, your bloodstain / body, it's a green frizzy orb that's right there. You have to make it back there and reclaim your souls. If you die on the way back, you lose all those souls. It was all for nothing. You will fall on here. You will roll out the way and fall. You will get stabbed, stumped on, picked up, swallowed, bitten, poisoned, hit with magic. You will die so many ways and so many times. My brother did a quick little survey, man. I thought this was funny. Not a survey, but he did a test. He went to this shrine in the main village. I think it's Majua. It's one of those. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. You go up to this little shrine temple and it shows the amount of deaths that everyone has died throughout this whole entire game since the games came out. He went there and he went away and counted to 5 seconds, went back. The number just jumped up drastically. That many people died just that quick. And then, you know, one thing I do like about the game is that it gives you a sense of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it teaches you a lesson. Like, it forces you to rethink about pursuing the enemy or going about the dungeons the right way, or the bosses. Oh, speaking of the Pursuer, oh my God, don't get me started on the Pursuer night. For the ones who follow me on my Facebook fan page, this freaking boss had me stuck for the longest. You all know what I'm talking about. I put a picture of him up on my fan page. Big ass knight with the sword and shield. He hovers, he's dropped off by, I think that's a griffin or a giant eagle. He would kill me so many times. I mean, fighting him, I died over and over and over. Yeah, that's right. It just didn't make any sense. Oh, and what's even more crazy about this title, I heard it wasn't like this on part 1, but on here, when you die, your main life bar gets smaller. Yes. So it makes it even harder the second time you attempt. And if you die, it makes it even harder the third time you attempt. But you can counter this with human effigies. The bonfires you go to, that you go there, you automatically heal. It doesn't replenish your full life bar. I mean, if it's cut down in half, I mean, it's just gonna refill it up to that point. You have these Estus flasks. They're like unlimited health potions. When I mean unlimited, say if you have 3, you use up 3, they're gone. I mean, they're not unlimited. You can just keep, you know, drinking them. Once you're out of them, go back to the bonfire. Bam, they're replenished. The bonfire, you know, when you use it, you know, that's when it just reverts everything back to where it was as far as the enemy positions go, and your health, and your Estus flasks. And it may repair some of the items. You know, you have rings, bows, magic, arrows, of course. But the thing with the rings is, I swear you have 10 fingers, you know, but yet you can only equip 4 rings. 2 rings on each finger. I don't get it. But the rings do add in extra things, like when you kill an enemy, it replenishes your health, have certain foes drop, have the item increase rate raised when you kill an enemy. Let's see, you can hear enemies. My favorite ring of all, my favorite ring of all, it's not even the one that gradually heals your HP. It's the one where when you die, the ring automatically breaks, but you do not lose all your souls. That one I like a whole lot. But anyway, back to the Pursuer Knight. It was just ridiculous, the amount of damage he was taking off. I tried all the strategies. I went on YouTube. Fans gave me hints and tips about it. It was just unbelievable. Some people beat him very easily as a mage. Just use a whole bunch of magic. Like I said, I had the dual swordsman class. No, I didn't do it because Ichigo's a dual swordsman. But I just did that because I figured, you know, I always liked dual sword type of characters, and I figured, you know, I could be a lot faster taking on some of these big, slower enemies, but that's not the case in this matter. So what I end up doing, I end up getting help. You know, you have these white mark symbols on the ground. You know, you can summon people for the multiplayer. I think you can summon up to 2 people, and it'll be 3 of you. And we went to fight this guy. And when you're fighting the Pursuer Knight, there are 2 crossbow turrets, real big. They're playing cannon fodder. I'm like, cool, I'm getting my little hits in, throwing daggers and whatnot, hitting them with the bows. And this guy gets on the turret. And when he shoots, I just so happen to be in the line of fire and he kills me. It got to the point I even put on my fan page, I said, this is ridiculous. And I was running out of human effigies. Human effigies is what you burn at the bonfires. You use them to restore your humanity back. That gets your life bar all the way up to back to normal, you know. And it's just, I ran out of all of those. You can buy them, but some of the merchants, the items you buy, they only have a limited amount. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so if you want to buy the healing crystals or human effigies, they only have a few limited amount of them. So to keep in mind, this is early on in the game. And I feel like I was stuck. You know, I was like, man, and I kept on killing the enemies so much in that environment, trying to level up and level up and level up, they stopped showing up. So it's not like you can just keep farming an enemy in the same area until later on in the game you come across this item that you burn at the bonfire, and it brings back the enemies, but they're stronger. It may bring back the enemies in different areas. It restores everything back to normal. What's done can't be undone. I think that's the message it says. You know, you have the dead bodies with the souls. You know, you can find numerous souls laying around, crush them, and that goes to your soul count. You can use that however you want them. So anyway, I said it's just a shame. You know, I was thinking like I have to just start a new character and start all over, because there's no more human effigies for me to get. I'll just SOL in. I say, you know what, I'm going to just take this as a tutorial, as getting my feet wet, you know, testing out the Dark Souls. So that's what I took it as. So I got my patience up, started over. This time I picked a knight. I believe you pick a warrior, knight, I think a thief, mage, dual swordsman, and this, I think 2 other classes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I picked a knight, alright? Drastic change, you know. I was making progress, you know, I got the ins and outs, locking onto the enemies, learn how to parry, block on time at the right amount of shield, applying the right points to the right stats. Because stamina, that's the thing, you have a stamina meter, you know, you can't just keep swinging. So not only do you have the stamina meter, you know, your weapons can damage, get break, have to repair the weapons. I do like how you can hold, you can mix and match your weapons, you know, or your shields. You can literally have 2 shields and, or you know, you got 2 shields on you, a shield in your left hand, shield in your right hand. I mean, you can do hand to hand if you want, you know, melee. You can have a giant sword here and a shield here, or switch vice versa, a bow here, bow here. When you equip a weapon, you can hit Y or triangle. They'll put the shield on their back with their bow, and they can they can wield the weapon with both hands, adding more damage. You have a light attack, strong attack. That I did like. I was getting the ins and outs with all these weapons. The different weapons, he swing them in a different way. Like if you have a Reaper, like a fencer sword, he's gonna fence with it. If you have like a swoop curve sword, like a falcon, he's gonna do the swooping motions. If you have a bastard sword, a claymore, broadsword, a long sword, things of that nature, or an axe, he does it differently. That's what I do like. Voice acting is good, but the characters, their mouths don't move when they talk. Why, I don't know. That's just, if you're a graphics horror, that's gonna bother you. But it's just a minor flaw I've seen in on this game. You know, nothing to just pull my hair out over. So anyway, back to when I started fresh, I did everything right. You know, I finally defeated that damn Pursuer Knight, and it felt so damn good. It felt so damn good. You know, I beat him. I beat the giant golem who rips his arm off. You all know what I'm talking about if you have this game. Everything was going good, and as I'm going through this game, learning about it, knowing what to do and what not to do, getting to the groove of it, I started noticing I was playing this way more than Titanfall. Now, don't get me wrong, I still love Titanfall. All right, that, you know, that's my drug. But Dark Souls overall is a good game. It is a very, very good game in my opinion, and to me, it has more to offer than Titanfall, because like I said, I found myself playing this more than Titanfall. And I know some of you are thinking crazy, like, oh, that's crazy. Titanfall is a next-gen game. Dark Souls 2 is technically a last-gen game. Look, I'm a gamer. Regardless if it's last-gen or next-gen, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to just tell it like it is. This has more to offer than Titanfall to me, and I've been playing it more. That's just how, that's what I think. That's how I feel. Just my opinion. So, as I start to defeat these bosses and go to these new worlds, and I just seeing the character design and the enemy design and the items I was coming across. And I like how when you're playing, you can actually see apparitions of other characters, just interacting. Well, they don't interact with you. You'll see them walking around, or you can check a blood stain to see how that person died. You'll see other people at bonfires, but people can't invade your world. That's happened to me quite a few times, and it's pissed me off quite a few times too. I mean, you're just, you know, going through a dungeon or area, and here comes someone invading your world. It gets kind of fun and a little bit tricky. I mean, both of you are locked on each other, doing a little dance, you know, throwing the spells, trying to see who can take out who, rolling out the way. But if you die, you die. If you kill him, you kill him. You may get some souls or items. You can invade other people's worlds. But Dark Souls 2, man, I think I just may go back and get part 1 also, because, like I said, I love the Dark Souls 2. I'm now a Dark Souls fan. I cannot wait for the next Dark Souls. And some of you have probably seen the rumor online. It's called Project Beast. Rumor has it this is a true successor, spiritual successor to Demon Souls. And rumor has it, yes, it's made by software. And rumor has it this is an exclusive to PlayStation 4. And when you see the screenshots, it has Dark Souls written all over it. I mean, you see the medieval times, the hellhound dogs, the knights. You see this one character going through a doorway that's foggy, emitting light. Come on now. But I really do hope that gets us now to E3 or the Tokyo Game Show, because if that's the case, that's going to make me get the PlayStation 4 even faster, because I still have my eye on the Order 1886, and now I'm keeping my eyes on this Project Beast. Type it in, Project Beast, and you will see it pop up. But I do have a lot of gameplay recorded already for the Dark Souls. More I'm going to have to do because I haven't beat it yet, but I'm very far. I believe I'm almost at the end. So at this point, like I said, I was like, okay, I'm this far now, so I can make a video about it, giving my thoughts. Because I don't want to make a video only going through 2 areas, and I'm giving my whole thoughts about it. But yeah, other than that, no real complaints. It's very challenging. And at one point I did think, damn, I regret buying this game because it was this difficult. I'll say no. I remember Final Fantasy 13, the main boss, I couldn't defeat him. Pissed me off to high heaven. The freaking new battle system of that game, it just wasn't like the other Final Fantasies, man. It's where it just aggravated me. I took it back. Then I thought about it, like, wait a minute, what's the price drop when it was in a bargain bin prices? I went back and got the game back. You want to know why? That's not like me to get rid of a game that I haven't finished. Hell no. Besides, we are the player. The purpose is for us to beat the game. You know, you don't have the game beat you. You beat the game. That's why I say, you know, and I do like a challenge, man. For the prices we pay for these games, especially me, how I cash out for these collector's editions, I'm going to get my money's worth, all right? I'm not just going to get rid of this game just because it's hard as hell, you know. Like I said, I got my patience back up. We started character, started fresh, learning the ins and outs. Now I'm hooked. I'm a big Dark Souls fan, man, and I just enjoy the game. So, like I said, don't let the difficulty intimidate you or scare you off. Just take your time. This game will punish you and teach you a lesson, but once you get the groove of it, get the right armor, repair, reinforcement, the right weapon, the right class for you, the right spells, this game, it'll all come into place. And so a lot of the enemies aren't even hard. To tell you the truth, yeah, a lot of these enemies are not even hard, just to be honest. A lot. I ain't gonna say not all of them are hard, but a lot of them aren't hard. But the bosses, you will die on some of these bosses, man, I'm telling you. But yeah, that's about it, Elites. Give me your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Are you a Dark Souls fan? Are you not a Dark Souls fan? Will you plan on getting it? Do you have it? What are your thoughts on it? And are you hyped about the new Project Beast? It's me, the Elite Ace. Thanks for watching. Signing out.